Bob's Breakfast.
Almost got myself thrown out of a West End theatre on Saturday night.
What were you up to?
Well, I thought it was something quite minor, but it's something they don't take too kindly to. You know, for Christmas, Julie said, I don't want stuff, I want an experience.
Yeah.
So I got tickets to the Garrick Theatre in the West End to see a play called Red Velvet.
Okay, that's a nice theatre.
Yeah, and not a musical. This is a proper serious play. So when I have a day out, I do like to take lots of pictures and tweet them. Twit pics. So we get to the theatre, and I don't know if you saw, I tweeted a picture of the stage from our seat.
I didn't see this, no.
We're in the third row,
yeah,
right in the middle of the stage. So almost the best seat in the house, very close to it. So I twit-picked a picture at the beginning of these are our seats, look at this, you know. The first half of the performance starts, and I know you're not supposed to, I quickly took a picture of the actors on the stage.
Yeah.
No flash, very quickly, within seconds. It wasn't like I was taking a video or something. I just lifted up my phone, clicked, done. So the interval comes, and the bloke, now Julie's on my left. There's a bloke next to me on the right that hasn't said a word. Well, he disappears. We didn't need ice creams or anything. We just sat there. He comes back, and within seconds of him coming back, I hear, sir, and it's an usher.
That's never good.
And I said, yeah? That photograph you took, can you delete it, please?
What?
And I went, yeah, all right. She went, no, can you delete it now? All right. So I get my phone out.
Yeah.
And found the photo, and I deleted it. I said, there you go, look, it's gone. Showed her the phone.
Yeah.
Can you go into your deleted files and delete it from there as well? I said, I don't even know how to do this. And the only reason why I deleted it so quickly, this is Julie's Christmas present.
Yes.
I'm not going to ruin the night out.
No, of course you're not.
And there's hundreds of people in this theatre. They've come to see a show. They're getting one. I'm the show. I'm starring in a two-handed farce with this usher.
This is the halftime entertainment.
Halftime entertainment, like the Super Bowl. Like I'm Coldplay now. So I said, I don't know how to do that. She said, if you go into, I'm like, oh, come on. This is a full-on performance.
Well,
Everybody's
clearly,
watching and
if
listening.
you're asking how to delete this, that you're not going to be using this picture in the future.
Of course,
or
I'm
whatever
not
she's
technically
worried about.
minded. Yes. So I'm farting around with it, and of course we're right in the front of the theatre. This is sort of like we're hidden away in the back, and this is just going on quietly. This is now a lot of people craning heads from other rows, see what's going on. I'm like, and she goes, "No, you go in there." I find this file she's on about. This it's all photos. So I go in there. I said, "I can't see it." She said, "It'll be at the top." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Find it at the top. Delete." I said, "There you go. Fine. Okay, thank you." I sat down, I said, Julie, could you believe that? And she's like, no. She says, somebody's dobbed you in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah, who would? And then I'm thinking the bloke next to me who nipped out quickly and came back. He didn't come back with an ice cream, and he wasn't gone long enough to have gone to the toilet because there would have been a queue. It was definitely him.
You got a snitch in your midst.
Yes, definitely. What kind of... I was doing him no harm.
No.
I wasn't ruining it for him. Like I say, no flash, no fuss, no big deal. What's it to him? He's decided to go out of his way to potentially, because it didn't, potentially ruin the night for a total stranger. Who would do that? Ruin somebody's night? What kind of snivelling snitch would you have to be that mean-spirited that you thought, oh, that's against the rules, so I'm going to report you? What kind of a person does that? Well, I thought, well, I'm not losing, I'm going to win.
Okay. Well, he's obviously met the wrong person.
Absolutely met the wrong person. Actually, before the curtain went up, I went to Google and I Googled the play and I Googled images and I found a picture from on the stage that was taken from about where we were sat. Right. A nice picture of the play in action from the first half.
Yeah.
Almost as good as the picture I'd taken. Very similar perspective. So I downloaded it. And I loaded it up onto the screen of my phone and I held it out. And I said to Julie really loudly, I'm holding the phone out at arm's length so this bloke could see it. And I went, you know what? That's the best picture I've taken in here tonight. It's better than the one I deleted. Way better. That's the best picture. I'm glad she didn't make me delete this one. But right, I'm not having that. So, curtain goes up, second half, lights go down. And I notice this bloke next to me, he's got both elbows on the armrests and he's cradling his chin on it. I mean, he's really into this play.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, at least 50% of that armrest is mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At least. And I'm taking no prisoners now. If this is the way you want to play it. So I got my elbow on it and I thought, I'll just touch his elbow. So I leaned so my elbow's touching his. How uncomfortable must that have been touching, stranger touching public? I would hate it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually just touching it and enjoying the play. So then his elbow moves a little bit. It's only a thin armrest. His elbow moves to about halfway on the armrest. Mm. So I move mine over and I'm touching again. So then his elbow comes off the armrest.
Yeah.
And he folds his arms. So I'm really onto it now. I'm really winning. So,
this is mind games.
Oh, yeah. So then I moved my foot so my shoe is touching his shoe on the floor. And that lasted about 3 seconds and he moved his foot about an inch away.
Really?
So I counted to 10 and I moved it and I got it touching again. And then he moved his foot away again. So then I knew I had him because we couldn't have been 10 minutes into the second half. He's looking at his watch.
How long have I got to sit next
This
to
guy's crazy. So I could see him looking, he's got his arms folded and he's looking at his watch. He's having his night's ruined.
Yes.
Completely ruined. And he's squashed up in the corner of his seat now, getting as far away from me as he can. The play finishes, and it was a great play, standing ovation. So we're all standing up and clapping. Of course, I'm clapping with my right-hand elbow right out here, nudging him in, right, every clap. There wasn't a clap I missed when he didn't get elbowed.
I bet you've never clapped so enthusiastically.
No, so enthusiastically. The elbow went in, many times, 10, maybe 20 times. He literally got the elbow from me. So then I turned to Julie and said, because she's no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
She turned to her and I said, that was really good, wasn't it? She said, yeah, it was great. I turned and I looked for this other fella. He disappeared. He must have been the first person out of the theatre.
It made me wonder what you were going to do right after the performance.
Well, if he'd have stayed, I was going to ask him could I have a selfie with him.
It's Bob.
Did you know that Paula Abdul got puked on?
I'd read about this morning.
Have you heard it?
I've not heard it, no.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Paula Abdul, she's the judge on an American talent show called So You Think You Can Dance, which sounds like it's a bit like a cross between Strictly and Britain's Got Talent. It's a dancing contest. Anyway, 12-year-old girl does her dance. Paula Abdul goes out to congratulate her.
I am so proud of you. Are you okay, honey? Okay. You okay? It's okay, honey.
Are you all right?
It's okay. So sorry. It's okay, honey. It's okay.
Did I hear what I thought I heard halfway through?
Yes, you did.
Right.
Hooly dooly.
Well, you know, the girl said Abdul had squeezed her a bit too tightly.
That's what she said. The quote from the kid is, she squeezed me too tight and all the happiness came out.
I might use that in future.
It's a good save, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you had a big night on the Terps or something, you've been out for a night out, and yes, I had a great night tonight, but when I got home, unfortunately, all the happiness came out.
This is Bob's Breakfast.
We voted to leave the EU. Anna, where are you on this decision? Which way did you vote?
I went out.
Okay.
I'm against the way the EU works.
In what way, the way it works? What does it do that bothers you so much?
I know that people say that we have got a say in the EU, but I don't feel like our views would be taken into account as much as the other countries.
Did you vote in the European elections?
No, I wasn't old enough.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. How old are you?
33.
33. You weren't old enough for the last European elections? It was...
Oh, wasn't I? I don't know.
It was 2014 was the last European elections.
No, I didn't know.
No, but... So you say you were worried that we weren't getting enough say, but when you did get a say, you didn't vote.
No, I didn't realise that you could vote for that.
You didn't even know?
No.
Okay. But all right, well, you voted to go out, and you're happy with that?
In a way, yeah. I think it'll get worse before it gets better.
I'm Graham Mack, reminding you that you should never ride a bicycle naked. This happened on the weekend. Hundreds of naked cyclists rode through central London. It was a protest highlighting how vulnerable they are when they ride their bikes on the road. Cyclists. Spoken about these people many times. I don't get it. Considering how aware they are of how vulnerable they are, it's odd that they're not going to wear clothes and ride bikes, making themselves even more vulnerable. You see, when cyclists do wear clothes, they don't wear protective clothing. Motorcyclists wear leather, which gives a lot of protection. Cyclists wear lycra, which gives almost no protection at all. Haven't they seen the figures? Numbers from the Department of Transport show that cyclists are 17 times more likely to be killed on the road than motorists. Surely riding naked is even more dangerous. And riding naked in a large group, that's going to cause extra problems. One of the biggest causes of road accidents is distracted drivers. Every year, more than 3,000 people are killed and around 500,000 are injured in crashes involving distracted drivers. And there aren't many things more distracting than suddenly seeing hundreds of naked people riding push bikes. Then there's the problem of what happens if they all crash into each other. Only takes one at the front to get a wobble on, go down, and all the others will pile into them. It brings an unfortunate image to mind from a joke that Billy Connolly once told on Parkinson. It involved a naked bottom being the ideal place to park a bike.
This is Bob.
It is the Queen's actual birthday today, not to be confused with the Queen's official birthday. She gets two, Laura. Did you know why?
I don't.
It's a tradition that started in 1778. If the monarch's not born in the summer,
Right.
they are allowed to take an official birthday as well when the weather will be nicer for a birthday.
Oh, I wish we could all do that.
Yes. Here's where it doesn't make sense. I lived in Australia for a long time. I lived in New Zealand for a long time. In Australia and New Zealand, the Queen's official birthday is a public holiday. It moves around, but it's on the nearest Monday. So you get a bank holiday weekend for the Queen's official birthday
Right, okay.
in June, which is in winter.
Bob.
I've been with my husband for 28 years, and for 25 of those years, I believed that he could actually tell the colour of my knickers just by feeling them. Now, I've now realised that he actually has a little sneaky peek earlier on in the day, and then he saves it for an opportune moment, and then he tells me the colour of my knickers, and I honestly believed it.
And what he's actually doing is he's copping a feel without you minding, because you think
Absolutely.
he's doing important research.
Absolutely.
And how was he found out?
Because I caught him looking, because he now has to put glasses on, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Now that I've got this image that looks really pervy of a bloke putting glasses on and then sneaking a peek.
Thank you. That's
Yes.
exactly how I think it is.
Superman is real. He actually saved a lady who was being robbed at a cash point machine in Gloucester. Bloke dressed as Superman. Now, he wasn't a superhero. He was wearing the costume for a charity thing, but he saw her being attacked through the window while he was having breakfast and ran out and helped her. So I'd like to know your fancy dress story. What's yours, Mark?
Well, my missus was going out with her friends to a fancy dress party, and I was invited, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go. But I'd made arrangements with her friends to go.
Okay.
So I went out and bought a Darth Vader outfit with a voice changer, the big black cape, the mask, everything else, the lightsaber.
Yeah.
They all went to the pub. I turned up a little bit after she had got there. She didn't know I was there. I had this mask on. She went to the bar. I stood at the bar beside her with the voice changer on and started trying to chat her up.
Right.
And she just looked at me and went, "Go away."
You freak.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, "Go away." Not interested. I was laughing and she couldn't work out and she was talking to her friends and like, "Oh, that bloke's trying to chat me up." And then when I took the face mask off, I got a clout around the ear roll.
Well, fair enough too.
Bob's Breakfast.
Controversy this morning over tickets for a street party to mark the Queen's 90th birthday in the Mall.
She never looks like she enjoys these things.
No.
Why don't they find out what she wants? She might just want to go to a harvester.
Bob's Breakfast.
Cigarettes will only be sold in plain packaging now.
That's right, yeah. From
Yeah,
today. There was a big court case surrounding this as
Big
well.
court case surrounding this, and idiots continue to smoke.
Well, seems to be the case that the tobacco industry is still alive and well.
Which is amazing, because there is no other product that when used exactly as the manufacturer intends it to be used, will probably kill you. Now, you can say there are lots of things that will probably kill you. Food will kill you if you eat the wrong food. Cars will kill you if you do the wrong thing. But they don't expect you to overeat. They don't expect you to drive badly when you buy a car or overeat when you buy food. Alcohol, the same thing. They don't want you to drink to excess. But cigarettes, they want you to smoke 20 a day. And that will kill you. And everybody knows that.
Absolutely.
It's not a secret.
No, you don't go into this thinking, oh, it's healthy for me.
Yeah.
It's not.
Plain packet, I don't know. It's not plain though, is it? It's got like diseased lungs and that on it.
Yeah, it's going to be green with plain font and no logos, they're saying.
I was talking about this the other day in the office. Because I did used to smoke. From the age of 14 to the age of 21, I smoked.
So you kicked it in reasonably early.
Reasonably
but then
early.
again, you started reasonably early.
Yeah,
so.
but when I say I started at 14, I wasn't smoking 20 a day or something at 14. I was smoking seriously from 18 though. I started smoking because I wanted to appear grown up and cool. And I gave up smoking because I wanted to appear grown up and cool.
It's Bob.
I'm Graham Mack with your lost and found stories. What's yours, Jane?
My uncle was on the beaches at Dunkirk,
Yeah.
and he lost a St. Christopher, Gold St. Christopher.
Yeah.
Didn't think any more of it. Anyway, 30 years later, he was on a coach trip with his wife around Cyprus.
Right.
He was sat next to a fella on the coach chatting away to him. He says, "I know you from somewhere." And he says, "Oh, I don't think so." He says, so he went for all the regiments. Still didn't know him. Anyway, he's got this St. Christopher around his neck. He said, "Oh, that's nice." He said, "Where'd you get that from?" He said, "I found it on the beach at Dunkirk." He
No way.
"You're joking." He said, "That's mine." He said, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Oh," he said, "Do you want it back?" He said, No. He said, "You've had it for 30 years." He said, "You found it." He said, "You keep it."
That's unbelievable. What are the chances?
I know. I couldn't believe it when he told me, but that is a true story.
Fantastic. Jane, thanks so much for your lost and found story.
Okay, thank you.
There's an avocado-related crime wave going on in New Zealand right now. Since January, there have been close to 40 large-scale thefts from avocado orchards.
How are they stealing them? Are they stealing them off the trees? I'm guessing an avocado grows on a tree because it's a type of pear, isn't it? So I'm guessing, are they stealing them off the trees? Are they raiding the warehouses where they're stored? What's happening, Chris? How is this crime being perpetrated on the good people of New Zealand?
It's been raked from the tree. So somebody's going in there into the orchard with a massive rake and just literally pulling them off the tree,
right?
Grabbing the avocados and legging it.
What, on foot, or there must be some kind of vehicle involved?
Yeah, I'm guessing there must be some sort of vehicle involved as well, because 350 avocados would be quite heavy.
Yeah.
But
So maybe they drive the vehicle into the avocado orchard, rake the avocados off, and then drive away in a sinister crime that is known as a drive-by fruiting.
Bob's Breakfast.
Inappropriate laughter. Jackie.
On Sunday, I went camping with my husband. He had this motorhome transferred into this transit van, and so we decided to go and sleep for a night in it. So we went to Sway, which is New Forest, and the van wasn't very straight. We were listing, really. So anyway, when I got some, I think they're called skids, things that goes under the wheels.
Yeah.
So it feels all level.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we decided to have a cuddle in the afternoon, and one thing led to another.
Uh-huh.
And at the crucial point, the van fell off the skids.
No.
We dropped about 2 foot.
Were you okay?
Oh, I said, oh my God, what was that? And he said, just ignore it, just ignore it. Of course he wasn't.
All right. I get the picture.
And I,
Jackie.
And I started laughing, right? And he said, please stop laughing, you're really putting me off.
Stop it. Jackie, thanks for oversharing this morning. Thank you. Getting stuck this morning. What's your story?
This is Dean. I'm phoning on behalf of my daughter who's just got stuck in a lift this morning.
Did she? Where at?
She's still in the lift now. She's at the flats at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Welling Garden City.
Wait a second, Dean. So she's a grown-up daughter?
Yeah, she was on her way to work apparently, got in the lift, pressed the button, the lift dropped, and now she's stuck.
In which block of flats?
It's at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I can give you her phone number if you want to talk to her.
Yeah, give me a phone number and we'll call her live, trapped in a lift.
Okay.
Cheers, Dean. Thank you.
See you in a bit.
This is Bob.
You've probably heard that Donald Trump's wife, Melania, has been accused of nicking bits of her speech from Michelle Obama, the current First Lady. I've done a comparison and I've put the two back to back for you to hear. See if you think that one has stolen from the other.
Values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
I mean, those two sound pretty similar to me.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
Pretty close.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
I put it to you, based on the evidence you're about to hear, that Melania Trump has also stolen from somebody even more important than Michelle Obama. Listen to this.
He will never, ever give up. And most importantly, he will never, ever let you down.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
He will never, ever give up. He will never, ever let you down.
Bob's Breakfast.
Hello?
Hello, Nadine.
Hello?
It's Graham Mack from BOBfm. Your dad, Dean, just gave me your phone number.
Okay.
He says you're trapped in a lift.
I am stuck in the lift, yeah, on my way to work, on the way out.
Okay, so this isn't the flats. Can you tell us where they are?
They're in Welling Garden.
Yes.
In Hertfordshire, obviously.
Yes.
In Court, QE2.
What's it called again, Nadine?
Burt Court.
Did you say Burt Court? Birch, I got you. Your phone went a bit. Birch Court, and you got in the lift went down, your dad said it, and that's it. You've been trapped in it. How long have you been trapped in this lift?
I've been in here for about so far. It's going to be another hour yet.
Oh, hang on. How long have you been in there so far?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. How do you know it's going to be another hour?
because I've rung the number in here
Yes.
and spoke to somebody, and they said they're going to take, the engineers are going to be about an hour. So
Well, that's no good. And you in there on your own? You're in there all alone?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you don't need to use a bathroom or anything, do you? You're going to be okay?
No.
You're going to hang on?
Yeah, no, I'm all right at the minute.
Okay. And they said an hour. How long ago was that? They said it was going to be an hour.
About 20 minutes ago now. 20 minutes, half an hour ago.
All right. Well, how are you going to... I mean, are the lights on in the lift and everything? It's not dark?
Yeah, the lights are on, yeah.
Right.
I'm laying on my jumper at the minute, having a lay down.
Okay, take it easy. Yeah. Oh, it's a shame you can't hear Bob. We got some good tunes.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
don't say that.
Yeah. How's the battery on your phone?
All right, and I've got some signal, so I'm happy.
All right. Okay. Well, I might call you back. Well, no, I will. I'll call you back a little bit later on. See how you're going.
All right, I will do.
Okay. And the name of the block of flats you're stuck in Welwyn Garden City again? Birch Court.
Birch Court.
Near the Queen Elizabeth Hospital there.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nadine, it's weird. We were talking about people getting stuck and stuck stories this morning, and you're stuck in a lift. Goodness me. All right, back to Nadine in a bit.
This is BOBfm.
Let's go to the phone. Who's this?
My name is Martin.
Hello, Martin. What can I do for you?
Hiya.
Hi.
My name's Martin, and I'm calling from I Love Savings.
I Love Savings.
The survey
Okay.
focuses
Yeah.
on
Okay.
bills
Wait,
like
Martin,
your
Martin,
energy,
Martin,
mobile
Martin.
phones,
Slow
and
down.
internet. Yes.
And what can I do for you this morning? You're from
I'm
I Love
carrying out
Savings.
a quick survey today.
You're doing a
Wanted
what?
to ask you a couple of questions.
Quick
to see
survey?
if we can save you some money. Is that okay?
Save me some money on what?
The survey focuses on bills like your energy.
Yeah, Martin,
mobile
Martin,
phones,
slow down.
and
Martin, are you a human being or a recording?
Yes.
Yeah, one or the other. Which are you? Are you a human being or a recording?
Yes.
Yeah, which one? You're a recording, aren't you?
No.
You're not a recording. You are a live person. I'm talking to a live person here.
Yes.
Okay. What's your last name, Martin? Martin?
I'm sorry. I don't know the answer to that, I'm afraid.
Honestly, this is like talking to Siri.
Sorry?
Martin, am I talking to a human being or a recording?
Uh-huh.
Martin,
this
are you...
is all pre-recorded messages operated by a live person.
You cannot be pre-recorded and live. It's impossible.
Yes.
Yes, it is impossible. You agree that it is impossible?
No.
You don't agree that it's not impossible. Martin, you're making no sense. Martin, are you a complete idiot?
No.
How do you know that for sure? You sound like one.
No.
You do sound like one. I'm telling you, you sound like one.
This is all pre-recorded messages operated by a live person.
Martin,
We
that's
use
impossible. You can't be a pre-recorded message.
Compliance on all our calls.
Martin, you can't be pre-recorded and a live message. You're one or the other. Which one are you?
Yes.
This software is crap.
Yes.
I'm glad we agree on something.
This is Bob.
It's always nice to get an unexpected compliment. Yesterday, Julie, my wife, she's talking to a lady in the lobby of the block of flats where we live. Now, Julie's in her 40s. The lady looked at Julie, tilted her head to one side and said, "Are you 23? Well, Julie gave a polite giggle and made a minor adjustment to her hair. And then the lady carried on. Because there's some mail here for 23 that's ended up in our mailbox.
BOBfm.
Chris brought us an interesting story earlier from Los Angeles about a bloke on a date, and he did a runner. He he racked up like 130 quid's worth of food, and then he pretended he had a phone call, and he left the restaurant and just left her there, and she had to pay the bill. What a dog. What a date from hell. What's your date from hell story, Tracy?
Well, basically, he pooed himself.
Wow! Now, did you know this bloke ahead of time?
No, it was a blind date. Someone fixed me up with him.
Right, right. And where did you go?
We went to the cinema in Leicester Square.
No. And how did you, when was it you realised that something bad had happened?
Well, he kept farting all the time.
Yes.
And it was really embarrassing. Because
And it was the omen fart. It was the fart that
bad.
foretells the future. Yes.
Yes.
So
yeah, it
you
was
had a
really
few
bad.
omen farts. Yeah. And
Yeah, and then he said, "Oh no," like that. And
now, at that stage, did you know he'd followed through?
well, he stood up and he had. I mean, this was a long time ago. He
Yes.
had on these sort of cream sort of chino trousers.
No.
So yeah, it was really bad. I just left. I just left.
you just left him there.
But the funny thing was, his job.
Yeah.
He worked in a circus. He was a fire eater. But this is no word of a lie.
Oh, you know what? There was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Bob's Breakfast.
Hello.
Nadine, it's Graham Mack. How are you?
Get back through to you.
All right. Now the phone is okay. It's not running out of battery or anything because I couldn't get you just now.
No, the signal's not great, but yeah.
Okay. And have you heard any news from the people who are attempting to rescue you?
No, I haven't heard anything.
It's just been completely silent.
Yeah, it has.
Now, what about other people who live in the block of flats? Can't you, like, bang on the door of the lift?
Yeah, a few of them are passing and talking to me.
Yes? And what are they saying?
You're alright, you've got anything to drink.
Well, how would they get you a drink if you needed one?
I know.
All right. Now, are you all right for provisions?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I've got my lunch for work.
Oh, you got your lunch? Oh, of course.
Water, yeah.
Yeah, because you're on your way to work.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Now, do you know exactly where you are? How many floors is this building?
There's 3.
Yes.
And I think I'm stuck between the first and the second floor.
Right. So it's not that high up.
No, it's not that high up.
Now, you know in the movies when you see lifts get stuck and somebody goes out the trapdoor at the top?
Yeah.
Are you tempted to try that?
No, I'm not tempted to try anything.
No, I'm just thinking that would be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just for movies.
Yeah.
I think you should stay put where you are, and hopefully you'll get rescued soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Very hot in here. It's very hot.
It's getting hot.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, just stay calm. You sound like you're taking it all in your stride.
Yeah, no, I have to. I haven't got much choice, I don't think.
No. All right, Nadine, I'll check in with you in a bit.
All right, wicked. Thank you. Can you play a song for my dad, please?
Yeah, for Dean, who told me all about it. Yeah. Okay, what's it?
It's Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Love in an Elevator.
Oh, okay then. Okay.
Wicked. Thank you.
We don't want our food on anything other than plates. But now the situation is out of control. You order food at different places and it shows up on all kinds of things. Daren.
Well, I took my daughter down my local boozer, like, this Saturday week. Like, I have done a few times, like, yeah. But this particular time, like, yeah, I ordered mixed grill.
Right.
When they brought it to me, like, I turned around and I said, "What's that?" She said, "Oh, well, that's what you ordered." I said, "Yeah, that is what I've ordered, but why is it on a piece of wood?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, that's how it comes." I said, No. I said, "I'm not caveman, sweetheart." Like, yeah, I said, "Karina, like, she's a Bulgarian girl, lovely girl." I said, "Look, Karina, like, yeah." I said, "If I was to turn this over and tip it on the table and start eating with my hands, your governor wouldn't be impressed with it." She said, "No." I said, "Well, take it away and put it on a plate."
Well, good for you, Daren.
Well, you know what I'm saying? What's that all about?
You struck a blow for common sense, yeah.
Well, I've been to places as well where they serve it up on a piece of slate.
Yeah.
I said, if I wanted to eat it off a piece of slate, I'd eat it on the roof.
Exactly.
From Global's newsroom, I'm Fiona Winchester. David Cameron has died. David Bowie has died after
an embarrassing mistake. We've all made mistakes at work. I've made loads of them. So I'd like to know mistakes you've made at work. Natalie.
I was photocopying some music for my students.
Yeah.
And we were studying Dido and Aeneas, and I'd done it at university, so I thought, brilliant, I can use my resources that I used myself at university when I was singing Dido and Aeneas.
Right.
So I sent it all to be photocopied, and then in our first lesson, going through the pieces, we got to a page where I, as a university student, had graffitied all over one of the pages with not only rude words, but also rude pictures. And so my class of A-level students saw what myself at 21 had been drawing.
No! The biggest lie you've ever been told. Ben.
I remember waiting for a bus, and I bumped into this very, very attractive girl, and I started talking to her.
Yeah.
And I talked to her for about 20 minutes, and she just moved into the area, and she got on the bus and she went, and the next few days I thought, gosh, she was very pretty. I didn't get her phone number, but I remember she told me where she lived.
Yeah.
The thing is, I couldn't remember her name.
Right.
And I knocked on the door and the parent answered. I remember it was a Friday night, and they were in the middle of dinner, and I explained and said, listen, I met your daughter at a bus stop, and I thought she was very nice. I must have sounded like a complete lunatic.
Yes.
And the dad was like, oh, very well, we'll come in. And he invited me in, and the family were having dinner around the table. It was like a scene from Godfather. and they said, listen, do you want some dinner? Sit down. Where do you go to school? And I was there for about 20 minutes, and they're like, oh, Michelle's upstairs in the shower. She'll be down. And I thought, well, this is a very friendly family.
Yeah.
And after 20 minutes, I had some dinner. The girl comes down, and it's not even the right girl.
Now, is this girl as pretty as the other girl?
I don't think she was, incidentally.
Right,
but I got a free dinner.
Yes.
So, this girl had sent me to completely the wrong house.
Oh, she'd lied to you and set you up with... Oh, do you reckon
No, I don't even think she knew who lived here.
Oh, she panicked. She panicked and gave you any old address she could think of.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have to feel sorry for the family who thought that they'd finally found someone for this girl.
No, the thing is, on my way out, though, the dad slipped me the phone number of the daughter. That was the ironic thing.
He slipped you her mobile number?
Yeah, he gave me her mobile number. So, very nice young man, give her a call.
Oh, you made quite the impression. Did you ever follow that up, Ben?
I don't think I did, to be honest with you.
Bob's Breakfast.
Chris Hubbard, how's your news?
Well, there's a couple who went out to the Himalayas. They were spending their honeymoon there, and a leopard crept into their hotel room in the early hours. It got into this hotel, and they said they were woken up by it coming in.
And they saw it?
Yes. Yeah, they were in bed.
Yes.
Just incredible to think that it didn't go straight for them. I mean, maybe it didn't see them. I don't know.
Maybe it just worked for housekeeping because they just walk in anyway. Housekeeping! And then the door's open before you're even going to go, hang on a minute!
Here we are. Bob's Breakfast.
Nadine, Graham Mack from BOBfm. I was a little bit worried earlier when you said it was getting hot in there. How are you now?
I'm alright. I've got my water. I'm alright.
Okay, so don't drink too much water because,
No, because I need the toilet.
Yeah. So is there any sign of rescue at this stage? Have they called back?
No sign yet.
Is it worth giving them a G up? Who is it? What's the name of the company? Does it say there? Maybe I could give them a call.
It's Patreon's Leafleted.
Yes?
Yeah.
And what's their number?
Is 0208
0208, yeah.
466 99.
99. All right, let me give them a call. See if I can hurry them up a bit.
Oh, brilliant!
And what's the name of the company again?
It's Patrons.
Patrons
Lifts Leafleted.
Patrons Lifts. All right, and that's the number that's in the lift where you are. That's the emergency number.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right, I'll give them a call. Leave it to me, Nadine.
All right,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bob's Breakfast. The most important meal of the day.
Boris Johnson is a porn star.
I beg your pardon?
The speech he gave straight after the Brexit result.
Yes.
That speech has been posted onto this website, Pornhub, under the title, Dumb British Blonde has over 15 million people at once. I must just clarify it, though. He is fully clothed. You don't see the Boris Johnson.
It's Bob.
What's your getting stuck story? Sarah?
Well, I did get some clothes stuck on me in a changing room.
What do you mean?
Well, I tried something on that was a smaller size than it should have been, but I was a bit confident that I'd get it. I think it was a dress or a top or something, and I kind of put it on in the changing room, and it was stuck. It was stuck. I was about to dislocate my shoulder taking it out, trying to take it off. I was getting hotter and hotter, and it was one of those kind of open plan changing rooms.
Uh-huh.
I was getting hot and panicky, and I didn't know what to do because kind of like one arm was in and one arm was out, so I had to tear it a little bit and then put it back on the hanger and go.
You tore it to get out.
Just a little bit. Just
You
a little
bad
bit.
person.
I know.
You still using Siri on your iPhone, the electronic helper?
I used it once when I bought the phone, and that was it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't get on with
It's
it.
frustrating. Well, I've had a love-hate relationship with Siri. let me just. Hey Siri, what is 0 divided by 0?
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
Okay, you see how irritating she becomes?
She's very irritating with that answer.
Hey Siri, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
It depends on whether you are talking about African or European wood.
Hey Siri, what are you wearing?
You have the wrong personal assistant.
Okay. Andy, you may have some advice for Nadine.
If she bounces up and down on the 4 corners,
Yes.
so if you imagine standing in a corner, put your hands on the corner,
Yeah.
and then jump as hard as you can on all 4 corners,
Yeah.
there's a chance it will trigger it.
How do you know this, Andy?
I know somebody's done it.
Someone who's been trapped in a lift?
Yeah, because sometimes what happens, they get almost to where they want to go,
Yeah.
and it's literally the last quarter of an inch,
Yes.
because they're designed to take, obviously, a lot of weight.
Yeah, well, she's in there on her own.
That's
Yeah.
right, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
not,
I see.
It's not detecting her weight.
Oh, I see. Maybe she's a skinny thing. Who
Maybe
knows?
she's a tiny girl. Yeah, I was thinking that earlier. I thought, my word, if she's small,
Yeah, yeah.
then it just needs that extra boom
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to get that to trigger the sensor.
All right, thanks for the advice, Andy. I'll let her know.
It's worth a try, Graham. Well, it'll get her out of there.
Okay, thanks a lot,
There
Andy.
is a chance. Depends how big she is. If
Okay.
she's only tiny, it might not work. But
Oh, all right, we'll see how we go. All right, thanks, Andy. If anyone's got any more advice on how you get... Nadine's trapped in a lift in a block of flats in Welwyn Garden City. 01438 422 106. Daren.
Yeah, he was getting people to ring up about giving speeches and stuff.
Yeah, what have you had to do?
Well, when I was at school, I've got a school report in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to give, not a speech, but I had to talk about my hobby,
Yeah.
which was digging up antique bottles and stuff.
Right.
My English teacher, Mrs. Fife, put, Darren's reading aloud is of a satisfactory standard and he has a confident and easy manner when presenting a talk to an audience. I should like to thank him for giving an excellent talk to the entire second year about his hobby, a talk which was received with great enthusiasm.
So you didn't decide to go into that line of work?
Well, I've got a great interest in antiques, and my living room is a bit like a museum, to be perfectly honest with you, Graham. Yeah, I'm still into antiques, but I ain't got so many bottles left because I had a fallout with the police when they came round one day and smashed most of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
what was that all about?
Usual, like when I was at that age, like around about 1980, to be honest with you, they didn't like me, and when they came round, they just used to upset me and upset my mum. So so I lost the plot one day, and and got arrested and was in the Welling Times for the siege of Sweetbriar. But it weren't a siege; it was just me throwing all me antique bottles at them in anger.
Oh, I see. They thought that it was a siege situation, and you were just throwing bottles at them. It was as innocent as that.
Yeah.
Well, what's the world come to? What's the world come to, Daren, when you can't throw a few bottles at a few policemen without being accused of staging a siege?
Well, they shouldn't come round and upset me, then, should they?
Well,
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They soon learn, like, not to come round and upset me.
Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds like they didn't learn that because you ended up going to jail.
Well, yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, when I was in there, I didn't get any hassle from them then, did I?
Yeah, well, you know why not? They probably think, don't bother with Daren. He's got a lot of bottle.
Yeah.
I'm just calling up the emergency number that she said is in the lift there. See if I can find out from the people who...
That's wrong. Good morning.
Hello, my name is Graham Mack. I'm calling from BOBfm, and I've had a lady call me this morning. She's trapped in a lift in Welwyn Garden City.
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of this?
Yes, we are.
Excellent.
Yes,
You're on the radio right now, by the way. I hope that's okay.
Oh, are we?
Yes. Is that all right? I hope you sound fine with
we've
it.
got an engineer in attendance.
Oh, he's in attendance. No, I just spoke to her 5 minutes ago. She said she's still waiting.
Oh, he's definitely on his way.
Is he? Do you know how long it'll be?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay. How long do these things normally, how long does it normally take to rescue?
Well, it depends where the engineer is, obviously, at the time,
If you could give him a call, that would be great.
Yeah, I will. I'll chase him up, but
right.
he's definitely en route.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank
Cheers.
you.
All right, thank you. Bye. The British have a problem with commitment. I mean, really, we were never fully committed to the EU because we kept the pound, we kept pints and miles per gallon. The thing is, I don't think we're even fully committed to being Britons. We describe ourselves as British, as if we're only a bit Brit. Like something that's not that big is only big-ish. Well, not that blue is just bluish. Not that young is young-ish. We're British. See, the thing is, we can also be snobbish, churlish, and standoffish. Which is all a bit rubbish.
This is Bob's Breakfast.
Hello?
Nadine, Graham Mack, how you going?
Still stuck.
Well, I called the lift company and they said there is a technician on the way.
Okay.
Now, in the meantime, Andy has called and he's had a friend who was trapped in a lift in a very similar circumstance to you.
Okay, yeah.
And he was on his own as well.
Okay.
Andy's theory is...
Yeah, hang on, I'm on the phone, mate. One sec. Hello.
Oh, who are you talking to?
Someone's trying to talk to me through the door.
Oh, do you reckon it might be the guy ready to rescue you? Because that might be important.
I think it's one of my mates.
Oh dear, can you find out who it is? Because that might be more important than what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Find out who that is, Nadine.
It's gone.
Okay.
I think it was my mate. It's all
Okay,
right.
all right. Well, anyway, Andy says that the lift mightn't sense that there's anyone in the lift because they're not designed to for just one person. They need a bit of weight.
Okay.
He's saying if you stand in the corner, in each one of the corners, with your hands on the walls in the corner, and you jump up and down, it might just release it.
Okay.
He said a mate of his, can you try that for me now?
Yeah, I will.
So go to one of the corners, and jump up in the air and then down.
Yeah, I've done that.
You did? I didn't hear. You must be light on your feet. Okay. Now go to the opposite diagonal corner. You jump up in there. Anything?
No, nothing's happening. I can hear it sort of moving. But
Well, there you go. Well, go to the other two corners that you haven't done yet. Still nothing.
I can't believe I'm still in here. It's been over an hour.
I know. It's still not moving.
No movement.
Okay. Try pushing all the buttons again. The ground floor button. You were headed to the ground floor for. Yeah, nothing.
No.
No. All right. And how hot is it getting in there then?
Quite warm.
Is it?
Quite
all right.
warm. I took my jumpers off.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I'll check back in with you soon. Hang on in there, Nadine.
All right.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you.
This is Bob.
Always reminds me, a mate of mine was an armature winder in Widnes, a bloke called Neil Hitchmo. And just before Christmas, he's in the pub and a bloke says to him, "Do you want to buy a case of bottles of whiskey?" And he went, "How much?" And it was a pretty good price. So he bought a case. I don't know how many was in there. Maybe 12 bottles. What's in a case of whiskey? 12 or 24? Probably 12.
Yeah.
So he bought a case of bottles of whiskey, and he's selling them at work, and he's doing all right. And he's been doing this for a couple of weeks, and then the boss of the place, old man Valsey, calls everybody for a staff meeting. And he says, "Lads, I've got some bad news for you." He says, "You know, every year I traditionally give you all a bottle of scotch. Someone swiped the case of whiskey from out the back."
Oh, no.
And he was selling the lads the bottle of whiskey they were going to get for free.
That's wrong. Good morning.
Hello, it's Graham Mack calling from BOBfm again. You're live on the radio again.
Hello.
Yeah, I just spoke to Nadine. There's still no one there to rescue her.
Yeah, I've just spoken to I don't know if it's the caretaker on site. He's just phoned up.
Yeah.
Our engineer is about 15 minutes away, so, obviously he's got caught in traffic and stuff, which has taken, longer than we hoped to be there.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not far now.
It's getting hot in that lift. Is there anything Nadine can do right now?
I mean, the best thing for her really is to just try and stay calm and, not...
She seems to be in good shape. She's not panicking by any means.
Yeah. I know. It's really, unfortunate that we didn't have an engineer in the area at the time.
Yeah.
But obviously...
It was actually unfortunate that he broke down in the first place, I suppose.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's, I work for a lift company and I wouldn't like to get stuck in a lift.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
But we do our best to sort of get there as soon as we can, you know.
Right. So I could call her back and tell her he should be there within 15 minutes.
And hopefully the caretaker has probably already spoken to her because I've not long spoken to him.
Yes.
So, okay.
All right. Hey, thank you very much.
That's all right.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
What are you scared of? I bet you can't beat this lady in Essex. Her name's Melanie James. She's claustrophobic, agoraphobic, obsessive-compulsive. She's scared of bees, cows, traffic jams and horses, and even travelling more than 50 miles from her home. She missed her best friend's wedding because she was petrified of travelling more than 50 miles away from home. Phobias. What's yours? Sarah?
I do have a strange phobia. It's tall old ladies.
What is it that's so scary about tall old ladies?
It's not right. Old ladies should be tiny. Little old lady. The saying's little old lady. You see a big tall old lady. Oh, it just freaks me out. I cannot bear tall old ladies. I get a little shudder when I see somebody. And I have a friend who's quite tall, and I keep saying to her, "We can't be friends when you're old because I have a phobia of tall old ladies."
That is horrible. When a meal has been ruined. What happened to you, Gary?
I went to Japan and met one of my friends over there, and we went for a sit-down menu in a Japanese restaurant.
Right.
So we sat there, and his girlfriend ordered some sushi up.
Yeah.
So this fish appeared, cut down past the gills, all the way down and back with a big steak through it, all the meat and everything it chopped up with some salad on top.
Yeah.
And I thought, I started to eat some stuff, and what was that? And then looked sideways, looked at the fish again, and thought, well, that was a bit strange. And then I saw its gills start all moving, its mouth started moving, and everything else. It had just been pulled out of the tank, chopped down the side, and put on my plate. It's absolutely revolting.
It was alive, and you were eating it, and it was looking at you while you were devouring it.
Basically, a live sushi, yeah. It was still, it was just wrong, but there you go.
Was that the end of the meal, or did you finish it?
No, I didn't finish that. That was the end of the meal at that stage, and, yeah.
Ah!
This is Bob.
David Cameron, gonna be a tough act to follow for Theresa May. Did you see Prime Minister's Question Time?
It was just a big joke yesterday. Cameron trying to get as many jokes in as possible.
It was the David Cameron stand-up act and it was quite funny.
When it comes to women prime ministers, I'm very pleased to be able to say pretty soon it's going to be 2-0. Let's just take the last week. We both have been having these leadership elections. We got on with it. We've had resignation, nomination, competition and coronation. They haven't even decided what the rules are yet.
David Cameron, stand-up comedy. Going down well with the crowd.
Oh, absolutely. If they ever got into power, it'd take them about a year to work out who would sit where.
The comedy stylings of David Cameron. Come back out here, Mr. Cameron. Take a bow. The comedy stylings, David Cameron, the Westminster wag. The comic of the commons. Bringing hilarity to the house. Can we hear it once again for the one and only David Cameron? Amazing. And you think, Theresa May, follow that. Can you play what you just played in the news? I don't think it was going well. To follow that, Theresa May does this.
When we take the big calls, we'll think not of the powerful, but you. When we pass new laws, we'll listen not to the mighty, but to you. That will be the mission of the government I lead.
What a contrast.
Tumbleweed.
Absolutely.
It's not happening, is it? So there we are thinking, oh dear, our new Prime Minister just doesn't. After the stand-up performance of David Cameron, our new Prime Minister just doesn't have it. But then she fires George Osborne and then appoints Boris Johnson as Foreign Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Theresa May. Theresa, come back out here. Let's have a bow. Theresa May, ladies and gentlemen.
Bob's Breakfast.
What's your navigational nightmare story? Leo.
So basically, I was in the Lake District, and we literally ran out of power on the phone, and we didn't have any maps, unfortunately. So we decided to keep going straight along this along this really dark, narrow hill. My dad was driving, and I was just a passenger.
Yeah.
So he kept driving along, and kept going until we just saw a dead end, and then suddenly we just saw this one sheep at the end of the road. We thought, oh God, it's like 9 p.m. and there's just this one sheep just lying in the end of the road. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So we were just completely like lost. And then for some reason, the sheep just kept going forwards. So we followed the sheep. We kept following the sheep along the road.
Because you had no other ideas. You thought we might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we had no other idea. So our only navigation is this wet, drowned sheep just following this road. So we thought, we may as well. Okay, let's go for it. So it was like 9:30 at night. It was pitch black. So we just kept going and going. So we followed this sheep going along the road, and then all of a sudden we just somehow made it to town by the sheep. We were just following the sheep for about a good 20 minutes, and somehow we made it.
You navigated by sheep.
Yeah, this one stray sheep, and then the farmer came along and said, "Oh, you found the sheep." Yeah,
sheep nav.
You made us found the town.
Right, oh, had he lost the sheep?
Yeah, apparently he lost.
Oh, so everybody was a winner. The sheep took you back to town. The farmer got his sheep back.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bonus for everyone. We couldn't believe it.
Wow, that's amazing. Now I know what it means when you buy a sat nav. It tells you how much RAM it's got.
This is Bob.
What was David Cameron humming to himself as he walked back into number 10? If you haven't heard it yet, this is, didn't realise the mic was still hot, and this is what David Cameron did. A lot of people have been trying to work it out. There's been talk that it was the theme to the West Wing. Or perhaps it was something from Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
Andrew Davenport reckons he's nailed it. He says it's Tara's theme from Gone with the Wind. Thanks for getting in touch, Andrew. Tara's theme from Gone with the Wind. Do, do, do. Is that it? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. You know, it could well be. Maybe David Cameron is a bit of a fan of Gone with the Wind. Maybe it's one of his favourite movies. I don't know. All I know is he is a little D-mob happy. He's leaving the job. I mean, just listen to this. This is when Theresa May asked David Cameron about what to do when she becomes Prime Minister.
You go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Bob's Breakfast.
Morning, Tracy.
Hi, Graham.
This morning we're talking about tattoos. Show us your tats. What do you got?
Yeah, I have got 3 tattoos.
What of?
I've got a cat on my ankle, a little cat face,
Yeah.
and I've got a fairy on my shoulder.
Yeah. What's the third one?
Oh, the third one, I don't really want to say.
No, come on.
Oh, God. It's a tattoo on my bum.
And what is it of?
It's 2 little interlinking hearts.
Okay. And why did you get that one?
I had it done with a boyfriend.
Okay. Were you sober?
Many years ago.
Were you sober at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still with that boyfriend?
No.
Oh. Do you regret that one?
No, not at all, because it's got no names or anything like that.
Okay. And how does your current fella feel about that one?
I'm not with anyone at the moment, so...
How about that?
But no other ones have minded about that, because they didn't really tell them...
Oh, you didn't tell him the full story? Didn't tell him the full story. All right. So do you regret any of your tattoos?
No, I don't.
Okay. You like them?
Yeah, I do like them, yeah. Yeah, I do like them, yeah.
Okay. So for you, they are not a tramp stamp?
No, definitely not. 'Cause
Okay.
They're really small.
Right,
yeah.
I see. Right, I see. A tramp stamp has to be a big one, does it?
Well, it's got to be in an area, like, that looks really sort of tarty. I mean, I know I've got one on my bum, but no one sees that.
Yeah. Yeah, but somebody now and again must see it. Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not like, I see a tramp stamp as when someone is bending over in the 99p shop.
Yes.
And their trousers come down and you see a great big, whatever it is, showing.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened to me.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for showing us your tats, Tracy.
Take care.
Cheers.
Bob's Breakfast.
We're being gouged by councils over chicken poo parking fines, and they've made £60 million extra this year than they did last year. That's according to the RAC. It's a lot of extra money. That's just in England. So I'm collecting your stories of the parking tickets you didn't deserve. Barry.
Hello, mate. It was another geezer talking about the traffic warden.
Yes.
Right, you won't believe this. I was waiting to make available anyway. I couldn't find nowhere to park. Finally did. I've got the last bay. You can only park there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So at 10 o'clock with my tea break, I need to get some stuff out of the van.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to move the van to get the stuff, and I couldn't find another parking space. So I was sitting there, and the traffic warden was there because they're doing roadworks beside the bays I'm in. Like, they've nicked a few of the bays.
Yeah.
Doing their repairs. So I said to this traffic, where can I park, mate? And we're closed. He said, oh, because they're doing the roadworks, they've taken 3 of the bays. You can now park 3 of the bays of residents only.
Who told you that?
The traffic warden.
The traffic warden told you that, right?
Yeah, so I said, oh, okay, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, you've got to put your paying display ticket in, but you can park there. I said,
Right.
okay, fine.
Excellent.
And it was a one-way street. So actually, he sort of backed me into the space.
He even backed you into the space?
Yeah, right. So I put when he buys another ticket, puts it in. I walked halfway back to the job, which is about a 5-minute walk away.
Yeah.
And halfway back, I realised I'd forgotten something.
Yeah.
So I've turned back, gone back to the van, and the van has got a clamp on it.
Clamp?
Yeah, it's been clamped within, I'd say, 3 minutes of me backing into the thing.
Now, surely the clampers are a different organisation to the... Because it sounds like the traffic warden you got was a decent bloke.
Well, no. Well, that's what I thought, because he was backing me into the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm trying to make this phone call and everything. I can't understand the people on the other end of the phone. I don't know what nationality they were, but I just couldn't understand them.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the end, after about 5 minutes being on the phone, another traffic warden appeared. So I'm sort of arguing with him, telling him what's what.
Yeah.
And I said, look, the traffic warden backed me into here. You know, he told me I could park there, and he's going, no, that's it. He wouldn't have done that. That's impossible. And then the fella who owns the hairdresser shop come out and said, excuse me, mate. He said, I've got all that on CCTV.
Oh, he's got the film of the traffic warden backing you into the spot that you got clamped for parking in.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I said to this traffic warden, right, I said, I've got this on, so I went and had a look. I said, you stay there. So I went and had a look, and I said, right. I said, that's all on camera, mate. I said, I want something done about this immediately.
Yeah.
Within another 5 minutes, the clampers come back, remove my clamp,
Yeah.
and then some other fella turned up, suited and booted, and said, right, I said, I'm not happy about this, thing's going to happen, and they give me a special parking ticket. I've parked anywhere in London for 6 months.
You are joking?
No, on my life. And I really, though, you know what I mean, the fella should be sacked for that. That's an absolute...
Oh, that's a disgrace. That is He's set you up. He has set you up a beauty, and then the minute you're out of sight, he's called up the clampers.
Exactly, but I wouldn't. If I hadn't forgotten taking the van, I wouldn't have known until another 2 hours.
Yeah, would have been
when I had to move it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how sneaky they are.
They are.
Actually backed me into the gap.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you. So I never done nothing about it. I just took me free parking.
Well, I would take that too. That's a good gift. That's brilliant.
Exactly.
That's like being a diplomat.
Yeah, it was on a bit of blue, special bit of blue thing, dispensation, sanctuary, silicon.
Yeah, that is just terrific. That is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? That one.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
just want to let you know. All right, mate.
Cheers, Barry. Do. What is that? Morning, Pete.
I'm just ringing about Dave Cameron. I think he's actually humming a little bit of the tune to McFadden and Whitehead. There ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us now.
We're on the move.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make sense.
I think he's absolutely elated. He's had an unforgiving job. Who would want to do that job?
Exactly.
And I think he's overjoyed.
When you've been away with your other half and you've fallen out, what kicked it off? David, you were at a cabaret. Where was this cabaret?
Ilford came down in sunny Devon, North Devon.
Yeah.
And we were there on a holiday, and there was some evening entertainment, and then there was this girl opposite who was looking at me, and even though I wasn't doing anything, and my wife decided that she got the right hump and stormed out as if I was doing something, even though we were just literally, I was just sitting there watching the cabaret.
And what was the cabaret?
Tom Jones impersonator.
Tom Jones impersonator, right. So he couldn't have been that good if the girl was giving you the eye.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, well, obviously comparing me to Tom Jones, I don't quite know.
Yeah, well, that's not unusual.
Bob's Breakfast.
Hello?
Hello, Nadine. Graham Mack again from BOBfm. How you going?
Not too bad. I'm still here.
No sign of a rescue?
Well, someone said they're going to be about 15 minutes. They were stuck in traffic.
Oh, who told you that? Because I've just spoken to the lift company. They've just told me exactly the same thing.
Yeah, so someone's on their way, so hopefully not too much longer.
So who's told you? Is this she mentioned the caretaker of the building or something?
Yeah, I think it's them.
What, is he
I can hear 'em,
shouting?
but I can't see them.
Oh, I see. They're shouting through the door at you.
Oh, hang on, the fire brigade has turned up.
The fire brigade have turned up. How do you know the fire brigade have turned up?
Yeah, they're on their way.
Nadine, how are you getting this information?
Somebody's standing on the other side and telling me. I think they're making all the calls.
Oh, I see. Right, I see. So have the fire brigade showed up or they're on the way?
They're on their way.
The fire brigade are now on their way as well.
I can't believe it.
Well, you know, we're all kind of hoping, you know, that you get your freedom soon.
Yeah, hopefully
Okay.
it won't be too much longer.
Yeah, well, no,
how long it will take them to get it sorted when they get it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's now a race between the lift company and the fire brigade. Actually, I would say my money's on the fire brigade because they're used to dealing with emergencies.
Yeah.
But then again, the lift company... Yeah. All right. So you're still okay? It's not too hot in there?
No, I'm still okay. I've still got my water. I need the toilet soon, though.
Oh dear. Okay, well, cross your legs.
They're not long.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you in a bit, Nadine.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Bob.
Do. Sounds familiar. Morning, Pete.
Can I play your new game, please?
What's the new game?
What's Dave humming?
Yes, what's Dave humming? That's right. Yes, what would you like to suggest that Dave is humming? Yes.
Singing in the rain.
Singing in the rain?
Because we're having trouble, we're not having a summer, are we? So he's humming, singing in the rain.
He could well be. Thanks very much, Pete, for taking
Did I
part.
win?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know what the right answer is. Unlike What's Bob Doing, where I know what the answer is, I don't know what David Cameron was humming.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again.
Oh, my wife Julie says thank you for the birthday message you sent yesterday.
Yes, I tweeted her.
Oh, you tweeted
Did she have a nice time?
She did. You got to be careful because birthday's a big deal for Julie.
Right.
Because I don't know if it's because she's the youngest of four. And
I
don't know why.
Might be. It could well be.
Birthdays are a big deal, and she expects everybody to know, which she got a little bit annoyed yesterday in Hitchin. They're filming the next season of that Dirty Doctor film. What's it called? Dr. Foster.
Dr. Foster, yes.
Yeah. Soft porn in Hitchin. Yeah, well, they were filming yesterday in the square. So Julie's walking through the square. I think she was going to the post office. And they've got like cameras and stuff, and they've got fake market stalls with fake flowers on. It's proper showbiz.
Yeah.
But nothing's roped off. So Julie's just walking along, and there's an assistant director or somebody saying, "Excuse me, no, sorry, you can't walk through here." And she's like, do these people realize this is my birthday? I can walk through. What? It's not private property.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
No.
And the thing that was really annoying her was that there were loads of people just stood around in the square. And she's thinking, you've told me to move. What about them? And then suddenly she hears action, and they all start moving. They were all extras.
Bob's Breakfast. The most important meal of the day.
Good morning, Ben.
Graham, I've got a locked out story for you.
Yeah, what happened?
I was locked out of the car by my dog.
By your dog?
By the dog.
What happened?
Well, I used to have 5 Series BMW, and I sent the dog to work with me every day. Now, the worst part about the 5 Series is in the middle of it, in the centre console, it's got a little button that you can push to lock the doors.
Right, central lock.
So, I've parked my lorry up, locked the office, put the dog in the car with the air conditioning on, locked the gates. When I've gone to get in the car, the dog's run over the centre console, stood on the central locking button with my keys in the ignition and locking out.
So you're trying to get in the car and he's just looking at you.
And he's sitting there smiling. He's a little staffy, and he smiles at me, and his tail's wagging. And he knows what he's done. I'm sure he does. And I'm getting him to run backwards and forwards across the car, trying to get him to do it
Trying to get him to walk on it again, yeah.
And after about 40 minutes, he did.
He
stood
did?
on it again.
So he even let you in as well?
He let me back in.
Bob's Breakfast.
Lost and found stories. What's yours, Dave?
Shopping in Sainsbury's at the Poplars. My wife and I turned up in the car. I got out of the car, and unknown to me, my wallet dropped out of my pocket. Yeah. And we went into the store, did our shopping, got to the checkout. Oh, whoops, no wallet.
Right.
Fortunately, my wife was able to pay by cash, so we got our groceries, went home. I got on the phone pretty quick smart to the police.
Yeah.
And while I was on the phone to the police, there was a knock on the door. There was a guy standing there with my wallet.
Really?
Which is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
What's even more remarkable is the fact that my wallet had no identification in it whatsoever. All they had was cash, credit cards, and he'd found in there a receipt for a hire car which I'd hired in Greece, on a remote island in Greece.
Yeah.
And he got it was at the Alamo company actually, and he contacted Alamo, and they'd given him my address.
Wow.
And he came round and gave it back to me.
So he'd done his own little bit of detective work.
Absolutely.
What a lovely bloke.
What a smashing bloke, absolutely. Yeah.
And what a smart guy too to think, right, what have I got? What evidence have I got? Well, I've got this. This is all I've got to work on. I'm going to follow this path.
Yeah. I was absolutely astonished. It was wonderful, really wonderful.
Yeah, it restores your faith in human nature.
It certainly does, yes.
And did you give him a reward?
Yeah, we gave him the content of the cash.
Did you? He did all right then. Well, good for him. Fair is fair. It all worked out great. David, that's a brilliant lost story.
It is, isn't it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Morning, Floyd.
Smoking in the car.
Uh-huh.
There's a law against it, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't there a law against pregnant women smoking if there's a law against second-hand smoke in a car?
Yes, that seems unfair. You're absolutely right.
And
there's a baby on board.
Pregnant women who are smoking first-hand smoke.
Yes.
And because I see this at work all the time like this.
Yeah.
There's a pregnant woman and she's smoking, and I don't understand it.
No.
I don't understand why there's a law against second-hand smoke
in a car,
but there isn't a law against it. I don't get it. I just wanted to say that quickly.
No, that is a good point. If you can't have kids, you can't smoke when there's kids in the car, but you can smoke if there's a kid in your womb. What's that all about?
Turn your knob to Bob.
When you've moved in somewhere, the stuff you've found that the people who used to live there have left behind. Cherie.
New house, couple of weeks into moving in, decided to go out in the garden, tidy up, put rubbish in the bin, that sort of thing. Decided to dig one of the borders, and as we're digging, there's no plants there. Boink. Okay, hit metal, that's a bit weird. Carried on and sort of scraped it a bit with the spade and thought, oh, that's going to be an old water tank or something from the loft or something like that. As we then cleared it, we realised it was a lot more solid than a water tank, so we got one of the fence posts to lever it out, and it was a safe.
They'd buried a safe in the garden.
And, well, because the house, I'm not implying that it was the people before that, but the house we'd bought was a repossession.
Yeah.
So it had been empty for some time. So whether someone had got into the garden or not, I don't know. But we called the police just to say, look, I don't know if you're interested, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So they sent 2 policemen round, because we'd got it out on the patio and cleaned it down.
Yeah.
And it had on the bottom of it, had got like a ring of, a concentric ring of holes, like with a drill, in order to prise it open.
Someone had already, it looked like somebody had
tried to get
worked
into it
on
because it was locked.
Yeah.
So the police took it away.
Yeah.
And then probably, this would have been at the weekend, probably 3 or 4 days later, they called me in. And I actually worked for the local group of newspapers at the time, so they were mega excited that, something was going on. So they let me go to the police station.
Yeah.
I was there for a couple of hours, being questioned quite intensely, really.
Oh, they thought you knew a little bit more than you were letting on.
You sort of think, others got to do it, but why would you put it in your own garden? But anyway. And then they kept it. They reported back to me it had been stolen from a local firm, but they didn't give me any details or dates or anything. And then, ironically, I had a friend that was a civilian admin person at the Stevenage police station. She's that blooming things in the corridor. We keep catching our tights on it. And it was there for months. And then probably, I don't know, about 6-7 months later, they wrote to me and said, no further process. Would you like it back? I said, no, don't worry about it. You keep it, you dump it. It's because it was, as you can imagine, a safe is ever so heavy.
So they'd managed to get it open though, had they?
They'd managed to get it open. Of course, they're serial numbered, so they could then trace back how...
Well, did you ever find out what was in it?
I believe it was empty.
Oh, yeah. I don't believe it was empty.
Yeah.
I don't think you would have been questioned the way you were if it was empty.
Absolutely. I mean, it could have been documentation and stuff like that.
But aren't you
honest? It could have been a wad of cash, couldn't it?
Yeah, you went to the... I think if I was going to go to the police, I would go to the police after I'd got it open.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Before. But you may have slipped up there, Cherie.
I know.
But you did the right thing. Wow. Good morning, Mick.
Good morning, Graham. Biggest mistakes at work.
Yes, what have you done?
Every afternoon we get these dodgy phone calls from people, these sellers and that at work.
Yeah.
And you have to drop all your work and you have to go to the phone and do last number redial and it's no number registered. I was working, trying to struggle to get all this work out because I was a bit stressed and snowed under. And then the phone rang about 4 times. I kept on walking to the phone. It was no number redial. And then I picked the phone up, and then it was what you do. You wait for them to start talking, then you know it is. And it all went quiet. So I started like effing and blinding down the phone. Slammed the phone down.
Right.
Did last number redial, and it was a number. So I rang it, and he was a priest, wasn't he? He wanted us to do some work for him. I apologised. I said it wasn't me on the phone. I said there's some bloke in the workshop. I said I was in the toilet.
You lied to a priest. And that makes it better, does it, Mick? That makes everything all right.
Bob's Breakfast.
I'm Graham Mack, and we've been talking about lies you tell at Christmas. What's your story? Stuart?
Christmas party.
Yeah.
I had a work Christmas do, and I got invited to it. But I'm a Spurs fan. I'm a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
So there was a Tottenham game on at the right time. But so he said to me, saying, "Oh, are you going to come?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be there." So I missed the first 10 minutes of the Spurs game due to traffic and everything, which I wasn't very happy with. Yeah. Got to the Spurs game to tell my boss that I'm ill. I can't come to this Christmas do. And
so how are we going to tell you were going to ring him from the match?
I was going to ring him on the way to the match.
Right. Okay.
Saying that I was ill.
Yeah, I see. Right.
So he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going too. I'm ill too." So I said, "All right, that's fine." And I don't know how fate happened, but our tickets were actually sitting next to each other. So we both got to the game, and we both sat down.
What are the chances? What's the capacity at White Hart Lane these days?
I think it's about 60, 62.
62,000 to 1 chance that he'd be in the next seat to you.
Oh my God! We didn't even talk to each other. We kind of just watched the match, and then we scored twice, and we kind of both cheered together. And then we kind of just left, and we didn't even speak about it at work.
It wasn't even a bonding moment because you were both up to some skullduggery.
Yeah.
It could have worked out well, actually.
Oh no, because he's the top dog, and he said to everyone that he's ill, and
of course, yeah.
And then it was me who promised him that I was going to go, and it was so awkward. It was a one Spurs match where I've always sat down and, you always get to know the people around you.
Yeah,
always talk about the game.
Yeah.
This was the first match where I just sat down and I didn't even speak to anyone. I was just watching the game and chanting.
Bob's Breakfast.
It's back on. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, where celebrities go on Bush Tucker trials and have to eat bugs and other disgusting stuff. What's the most unusual thing you've ever eaten? Cherie?
A long time ago when I was a teenager, I was in the Army Cadet.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you get taught several things, camping skills, map reading and all the rest of it, and part of it comes under like survival skills and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's only as a proof of point you were encouraged to carry sort of herbs and spices and stuff like that in your kit in case you've got sort of rations that you didn't like or anything. And to prove a point, we cooked worms.
You ate worms?
Yeah, and flavoured them in order to prove a point. It's only meat.
Worms? What were they? They were fried, were they?
Yes. Yeah.
Fried worms.
Yeah.
And with spices.
Yeah, just whatever we had, Chinese spice, garlic, or whatever you could, or even natural stuff, sort of like natural garlic and mint and that sort of thing. It was just to prove a point that you could, if you were that hungry,
yes,
you would eat anything.
Did it prove it? What do worms taste like?
Gristly, like gristly rubber bands.
And do they have to be filleted or anything?
No, you just throw them in. Just throw them in and just and shut your eyes and chew and say, right, I've done it. Get on, move on. So it was just to prove a point.
Cherie, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Hello.
Nadine, Graham Mack, how are things? What's the latest?
The fire brigade are here. They're ready to...
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're here now.
So what are they trying to do? Prise the doors open with the jaws of life or something?
I think it's working.
What's working?
They're moving from it. The lift's moving.
Or what? It's going up or down?
It's going down, I think.
All right. So you?
I could hear them all. There's quite a few of them. I could hear them all outside.
Hey Nadine, this could work out well because you might soon be surrounded by some firemen.
I know. I could hear them all. I'm getting excited. Terrible.
So talk us through, this morning you got in the lift to go to work. What floor do you live on?
I live on the 3rd floor.
Right, which is the top floor of the block. You get in there, you push the button, the doors close, and it goes down a bit, and then that's the end of that.
Yeah, and I've been here ever since.
Right, so what time
Very
was
hot. I need the toilet. I don't want to drink.
it? What time did you get in the lift?
About 7:45.
Oh, wow, you've been in there a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Very stressed, I think.
Yeah, but it sounds like you've got the right men on the job now.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Talk to you in a bit.
All right,
Cheers.
This is Bob.
Good morning, Dave.
Were you talking about things found in
Yeah.
houses when you moved in?
Yeah.
Well, this gets a bit racy. I found rather a lot of very explicit Polaroids and a VHS tape.
Oh, my goodness. And these were clearly homemade
These were clearly homemade with, and the lady in question, well, the men in question, when I say men, they were clearly not her husband. We'll call them, they were Caribbean gentlemen, and her husband wasn't.
And it was always the same lady?
It was the same woman, but different Caribbean men in Polaroids and an unplayable VHS tape.
How do you mean unplayable? Unwatchable?
It was, the tape was knackered, so...
Oh, well, how do you know she was on that one then?
Well, it's probably a good guess if they're all wrapped together.
I see, right. And
between two broken floorboards.
And did you meet the people who you got to play, the previous residents?
It was saw the lady before moving in there, yeah.
Holy dooly.
Hello.
Nadine, Graham Mack, how are things?
I'm out. I'm
free. Who was it got you out? Was it the lift company or the fire brigade?
They both turned up at the same time, but the fire brigade done the most work.
Yeah, and are the fellas there? They're nice looking fellas?
Yeah, nice looking fellas.
So are you still going to go carry on to work now, or is that it? Is this your day?
Yeah, I've got to go back to work. I'm actually 4 months pregnant as well, so that's why they had to send out the fire brigade.
Nadine, why didn't you say something before now? It would have increased the urgency.
I know.
Why did you keep that to yourself?
I did tell them. I did tell the engineers, but they were stuck in traffic.
Goodness me!
No,
all right, so you think you're okay? Everything's okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I used the toilet as soon as I got out.
Right, okay. And goodness me, 4 months pregnant. I had no idea. Wow.
I got in there about 20 to 8.
Yeah.
I've only just got out now, so
Wow.
it's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. And so you're still going to go to work today. Where do you work?
I'm actually an assembler. I make air conditioning units.
You make air... If only you had an air conditioning unit in that lift when it was getting
still
hot.
hot now.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
So, Nadine, thanks for letting us follow your dilemma. I'm glad we've got a happy ending here.
That's all right. Did you play my dad's track?
I played Love in an Elevator, just like you. I played it for your dad, Dean, who was who called me up and told me.
Everyone at my work for me.
What's the name of the
boyfriend, Fletcher?
Fletcher. Well, I'm sure he's been listening to your story.
Yeah, he's been listening. They've all been listening at work, tuned in to you.
What's the name of the work?
The name is Lewis Tyler and Sons.
Okay, and they're in Welwyn Garden City?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, well, Nadine, so glad it's a happy ending. Thank you very much for letting us share
Thank you. You've made my morning.
You've made our morning, and 4 months pregnant, I didn't know. Hey, thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Nadine.
Cheers.
Bye.
This is Bob.
I don't think there's a bigger story than the Hillsborough story. There are so many levels to it. On April the 15th, 1989, 96 people died when they went to watch a football match. And if you look at the names on the memorial at Anfield, or when they're printed in the papers, wherever you see that list, first thing that strikes you is how young some of the victims were. The youngest was 10 years old. 22 of them were under the age of 18. They weren't even 18. They were unlawfully killed. They did nothing wrong. But for 27 years, the fans have been blamed for causing the tragedy. The police lied on a scale I don't think we've ever seen before. They changed statements. The Sun newspaper, the next day, the day after the tragedy, ran a front page under the banner The Truth, which said, fans urinated on policemen. They beat up a policeman giving the kiss of life and picked the pockets of the dead. None of it true. And the lies stuck for 27 years. And they stuck because of prejudice. A prejudice, let's face it, against working class people, football supporters, and people from the city of Liverpool in particular. No other group in this country can be vilified in this way. You can't say someone is dishonest or a criminal just because they're black or gay or follow a particular faith. But for years it's been acceptable to use the phrase thieving Scousers. And the prejudice grew, and so the lies were believed. Every time I've been to a Liverpool match, when Liverpool have played Manchester United, the families of the Hillsborough victims who've been in the crowd have had to listen to Manchester United fans chant, "Murderers, murderers, murderers." People who lost their children have had to listen to this. And so yesterday, the truth finally came out. And so on my blog, all I did was publish a poem by a bloke called Dave Kirby. The poem's called The Justice Bell. It came out on the 13th anniversary of the Hillsborough disaster. Now, I've changed 13 years to 27 years, and I changed the last line to bring it up to date. This is the Justice Bell. A schoolboy holds a leather ball in a photograph on a bedroom wall. The bed is made, the curtains drawn, as silence greets the break of dawn. The dusk gives way to morning light, revealing shades of red and white, which hang from posters locked in time of the Liverpool team of '89. Upon a pale white quilted sheet, a football kit is folded neat. A yellow scarf, trimmed with red, and some football boots beside the bed. In hope, the room wakes each day to see the boy who used to play. But once again, it wakes alone, for this young boy is not coming home. Outside, the springtime fills the air. The smell of life is everywhere. Violas bloom and tulips grow, and daffodils dance heel to toe. These should be such special times for a boy who would now be in his prime. But spring forever turns to grey in the Yorkshire sun one April day. The clock was locked at 3:06 as sun shone down upon the pitch, lighting up faces etched in pain as death descended on Lepping's Lane. Between the bars an arm is raised, amidst a human tidal wave. A young hand, yearning to be saved, grows weak inside this deathly cage. A boy not barely in his teens is lost among the dying screams. A body too frail to fight for breath is drowned below a sea of death. His outstretched arm then disappears to signal 27 years of tears. 96 souls of those who fell await the toll of the justice bell. Ever since that disastrous day, a vision comes my way. I reach and grab his outstretched arm, then pull him up away from harm. We both embrace with tear-filled eyes. I then awake and realize it's just the same old dream I have each week as I quietly cry myself to sleep. On the 15th of April every year, when all is calm and skies are clear, beneath a glowing Yorkshire moon, a lone Scots piper plays a tune. The tune rings out the justice cause, then blows due west across the moors. It passes the eternal flame, then engulfs a young boy's picture frame. His room is as it was that day. For 27 years, it stayed that way, untouched and frozen in time, since that tragic day in '89. And as it plays its haunting sound, tears are heard from miles around. The tears from the families of those who fell, who now can hear the justice bell.